Bishop Howard Hubbard just recently expressed regret for returning priests to ministry after having offended children. And he said he regrets that choice. That's a choice he made for decades. What needs to be said is that Howard Hubbard is a serial predator that enjoyed a position of power and trust over priests and parishioners for decades. What needs to be said is Cardinal Ted McCarrick, former Cardinal Ted McCarrick, enjoyed a same and similar powerful position over priests and parishioners and families for decades. Both are serial offenders. And when Hubbard says he expresses regret for whitewashing and or returning these priests the same way McCarrick did, in both cases and in all cases that we have encountered, all they have cared about is their reputation and their power and their privilege and their opportunity to both abuse kids, which they both did for decades as predators, and to protect the other priests, which they did and continue to have done for decades, and under the cover of that power and empowered by the popes. And the practices employed by them have to be revealed, and every day, every survivor that brings a suit in New York and New Jersey is doing something to reveal them for what they've done and the harm that they've done. And I'm here to say how sorry I am to all the families whose life have been shattered by their decisions. And they were allowed to occupy those positions of power and trust, political and otherwise, by the popes and for decades. And every survivor that brings suit and exposes the offender and the practices that they've employed in New Jersey and in New York and under the Child Victims Act in both states is making a difference and a part of the cleanup of a long-standing cover-up by them and others. So there's time left, a matter of days in New York and months in New Jersey. It's just time, and my credit goes and my heart goes to the survivors who have to read about the regret. The damage that has been done to so many for so long is so heartbreaking. It's time. It's time.